I am really ready to make a drastic, huge move in my life here. And why do I say this right off the bat? I am at this point in my life, and what has brought this up upon many other things, my father had 3 strokes. He's not doing good. It's not going to be long before it turns bad. And my grandfather just died yesterday. And I'm just at the point of really like, there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose here anymore. I see life for what life really is, and I'm ready to live, I'm ready to do something, but I'm ready to die. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. And I'm being dead ass serious about this. I'm not hanging on to nothing no more. I'm not asking anybody for nothing no more. You just get to the end of yourself, you know. I'm not saying I'm not going to do any more videos, and this is not a video to get anybody depressed or stressed or anything like that. But once you really see what is really going on here, and you just get in this mind state of, I have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing at all here. There's nothing to gain. There's nothing to lose. I'm ready to live or I'm ready to die. I'm ready to go do something. I'm ready to make something happen in my own life. I'm ready to just get up and go. That's how I feel. I don't want to be where I'm at anymore. I don't want to sit up in this room and, you know, I have a talent. I have something that I can do. I have things that I want to really do, and I know I've been saying this, but you know, this is the only place I have to talk about this stuff. This is the only place that I can go to actually say what's really on my mind. And you know, even that is, it's all just a coping mechanism. The whole thing, all that we can do here is cope and keep ourselves distracted with things. And this is why people hope. This is why people do what they do. This is why all of us do what we do. This is why all of us cope. This is why you get to this point in your life like me where you say, I have nothing, absolutely nothing to lose. I have literally hit a dead end and a rock bottom state, not the way people think I have reached it. I'm not talking about rock bottom where I am depressed or I'm ready to kill myself, but it's like I said, I'm ready to live and I'm ready to die. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It doesn't matter. Because if I'm around for 10, 20, 30, 40 more years, eventually I'm going to have the same issues as my dad. I'm going to be just like my grandfather, you know, and this whole thing with, I know this video is just absolutely spontaneous, but you know what? That's what life is. It's spontaneous. It's out of nowhere. Things are going to come. Things are going to happen. And it's going to happen to every single one of us. Every single one of us out there. If you're an actual, well, you are an actual human, but there's no other choice but for you to relate, because it's going to happen to all of us. So it's a very strange, very, very strange thing. Very, very, very strange. Life is a very, very strange phenomenon. And all I can do is cope. All I can do is distract myself for as long as I can, as long as I have the ability to. And that's it. And it isn't even that I'm to a point anymore. It's to the point of no return. I see this so plain and clearly, you know, non-duality is how it really is. It's how it really, really, really is. And it is, most people will go their whole lives kind of fooling themselves. And that's okay, because I understand. I understand what people are doing. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just have fun when you can have fun. Lighten up and move on and let shit go. There's no point in really stressing or worrying about anything. We are stressing and worrying about things that we have absolutely no control over. Absolutely no control. And we just don't realize how powerless we really are here. And when you come to that, you're going to realize, oh my goodness, this is for real. Like, you're not telling yourself these fairy tales. You're not lying to yourself. And for a lot of people, this is very depressing for them. This is something that they don't like hearing. They hate hearing this kind of stuff. And then there's some people that they resonate with this and they love hearing this stuff and they like hearing it all the time. See, I don't like talking like this all the time. It's got to be a balance. There's sometimes I got to be serious and other times I got to play. And most of the time you just got to play. The times to take something serious is when I need something that I need. And even that is something to not really take that serious, because what's going to happen is going to happen. And yet again, all of this worry, all of this stress, all of this strain that every single one of us is going through, it is all irrelevant. It's not doing anything that you think it's doing. You think that because you're missing out on something in the world that somehow you're not a part of something, or you're worrying about something in your mind that you're somehow missing out, or something's going on that you're not a part of. So, oh my gosh, I missed out on that, and things are going on, and I'm worrying about this thing and that thing and this thing. And this worry is absolutely pointless. It's absolutely absurd. It is, even though you're caring about yourself, it's absolutely unnecessary. It is extra baggage to worry. It isn't doing anything but making you worry, making you and I worry. And here's what I wanted to talk about. But see, this is a very touchy subject for most people. My grandfather just died yesterday. I love my grandfather. I care for my grandfather. He's my grandfather. He provided a place for me to live for 5 years. But I'm kind of surprised because I didn't really cry hardly at all, because I've been through this so much. I had so much death in my family, and I've been there and done that, and I had it happen so many times. It's like, it's not a surprise, It isn't that I didn't care for him, but I'm almost numb to the fact when I hear somebody died, even somebody that I care for a lot. It's nothing. See, people will take this in the wrong way, but it's almost like I have become numb. I have become almost to the point where, okay, they died. Well, I'm going to die too. So why am I going to get down on myself and worry? You can't help it. You can't control it. It's inevitable that these things will happen. And until then, all we can do is the best we can. All we can do is cope. All we can do is distract ourselves. All we can do is do YouTube videos. All we can do is make music. All we can do is walk around and exercise. All we can do is talk to other people. All we can do is reach out, buy a video like this. That's all we can do. That's all I can do. And this whole funeral thing, every time something happens to somebody, it's, oh, well, we have to have a funeral now. We have to pay money or have a funeral because that's what everybody's expecting to do. But I even talked to my mom about this, and I said something. I said, look, I just don't want to do any more funerals. I don't want to go to any funerals. It's not that I don't want to support you because you lost something, because we're all losing something. We're all losing something here. Every single one of us. None of us are excluded from this. We can't exclude ourselves. It's impossible to exclude ourselves. But I told her the funeral thing just makes me worse. It makes me worse. It doesn't give me closure. Funerals make me feel worse. Funerals actually put me in a depressive state. They actually make me start worrying about everything. Worrying like I can control the situation. Like I can, like somehow I can stop the inevitable. Somehow I could have done something about that to prevent it. And there's nothing I could have done. There's nothing I could have done. I might have been able to do a little bit of something for some time for somebody, but over time, it's like you can't help it. It's out of your control. And coming to this over and over and over and over and over again, you will become numb to it. You will become numb to the repetition of it. It ain't that you didn't care about that person. I care deeply about my grandfather. My grandfather was actually the one that got me into poetry and writing and music. He was like a comedian guy. He was giving. He gave all the time. He whistled songs. You know, he used to go, and he used to call me Nacy. He used to go, oh, hey, Nace. Hey, Nason. What you doing, Nason? You know, my grandfather was not like a lot of people. He was very different. My grandfather was very different. But over the last couple years, he lost his son, Tim. My uncle Tim from an OD. I lost my brother Earl from an OD. And I lost my Aunt Tammy. And that's my grandfather's daughter. So he lost two daughters and a son. He lost my Aunt Vicky to cancer, which was kind of like my mom. I lived with her when my mom went to work when I was younger because I couldn't be at my house because of the drugs and, you know, all the things that were going on, all the drama, you know. They tried to keep me away from it. They tried to keep me away from it, and I ended up becoming a drug addict. Excuse me. I ended up becoming what I hated as a child, but I'm not that anymore. I'm not into that life anymore, and I'm very glad that I'm not. But yet he had two daughters and a son die, so over time, you give up on the zeal of life. You know, you say, well, what am I here for? What am I living for? Once you lose that, there should be a way where any person should have a right. And I am all for this. When I get older, I'm going to be seeking it out. There should be a way that if you do not want to suffer and you do not want to go through the hell of having health problems. I already have health issues and I'm 37 years old. I've been having chronic stuff go on with me, with my back and my head, and ever since I had a head injury. This isn't nothing new to me. You know, when you're talking about suffering, you're looking at somebody that has suffered dramatically with chronic health stuff. You know, it doesn't show on these videos and you can't see it, but I've suffered. I've suffered. And I am just not going to go through that again. I made up my mind, and I even prayed, if there's a God, I said, look, I just can't do it. And I know you're saying, oh, well, that's just you having a guilty conscience, like, you know, God's judging you and stuff. But listen, I have come to terms with my shit. I have come to terms with my life. I have made amends with people. I have done all these things. And that's why I talk to it about other people, because are you ready? Are you there? Are you actually willing to say, you know what, I'm ready to live or I'm ready to die? It doesn't matter. I'm ready to live, ready to die, because I have no other choice. I have no other choice but to live, and I don't have a choice whether I die. So I have to do both of them. So what do we do here? See, when we can get brutally honest with ourselves and realize how powerless we are, this should not depress you. This should not get you down and out. This should not get you any kind of way. It shouldn't do that. It should be something, it should almost be a relief to you that you know, okay, while I have my youth and while I have my zeal for life, or while I am still healthy and stuff, okay, I can do things, and I'm gonna do things, and I have the ability to do things while I can. But what happens when you can't? And most of us don't prepare for that. And I don't think that some of my family members, the way that they think about things, I don't think that they prepared too much, because it really fucks me up. It really fucks me up. My dad, I was speaking with him, and, I heard him saying, I'll be damned, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this. And he had 3 strokes, and he's still in the hospital after weeks. He's been in the hospital for weeks now. And, my dad, he moves around. My dad is a hustler. My dad used to be a drug user, and he used to sell drugs. And my dad, he knows how to hustle. My dad moves around. He don't like sitting still anywhere. And he said, I can't live like this. And I said, Dad, listen, I understand. And listen, there should be a way. If you don't want to keep going through this, then we should have more Dr. Kevorkians that help you to go out as peaceful as possible. There should be no reason that you should have to suffer for years and years and years if you know that there is no cure, or you can't do anything about the situation you're in. There should be a way out from that. People should not have to resort to suicide, or even though it is kind of suicide. But listen, I'm seeing all of these things absolutely different now than what other people see them, because most people are seeing it in a way where I have to keep going, and I have to keep holding on by all means. And if I don't do that, then I failed. I've done something wrong, and that is not true. This is natural. Non-duality is a natural thing. Yes, it's a hard pill to swallow. Don't get me wrong. Non-duality and facing death is not an easy thing for us, because of what we've been programmed to think, what our parents told us, what TV and school and our friends and family, and what they programmed and indoctrinated us with and have told us and conditioned us with. It's not an easy thing. But once you face that and you go through that stage and you go through the letting go process, and you just see, what the fuck am I worrying about? What am I waiting for here? What am I waiting for? Like, where am I going? Like, what is happening? It's, okay, let me do what I do. What am I sitting here stressing for and worrying for when I have no control, and I never will, and I'm wasting my time doing it, but yet we still do it. We still do it. So anyway, it's there is a writer that wrote a book that he committed suicide. He said suicide as a kind of something, he said. I don't know. He wrote David Wallace. He wrote Infinite Jest. I never read it. I heard that the book from some people was bad and some people liked it. They said it was one of the best books of, the 20th century or 19th, whatever, 21st century. I always get the centuries mixed up, whether the 2000s or the 21st century or the 20th century. But anyway, he talked about how suicide is a kind of something. I don't know the word that he put there, but it's for the people that are still alive that hold on to things. It's a bad thing because they think that it's a bad thing. I am not condoning, and I am not absolutely downing or against suicidal things. And this is very hard to describe. I don't have time to describe it to you what I mean. I don't condone it. But if it comes to when somebody has cancer and they know that they're not going to get better and they're just suffering and dragging it out, and the family wants them to get better. I know how this is. It happened with my Aunt Vicky, and they desperately want them to get better and nothing's happening. And she has to stay alive. We have to have hope that she'll get better. She will get better. Okay, well, say that she does get better. Okay, she's gonna live for another 35 years, and it'll be over anyway. But you don't want that person to suffer. You don't want that person to suffer through that. So you say, okay, well, we have to find a humane way out of this thing. But I'm not condoning people that are just kind of down on their luck, and they're just, see, it's hard. I don't even want to try to explain it because I can't. Everybody's in different situations. Everybody commits suicide for different reasons. Everybody does things for certain reason. Who am I to judge? I can't judge. But anyway, as the universe is my witness right now, I have absolutely nothing to lose. I'm ready to live and I'm ready to die. And it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore. But in the meantime, I do appreciate your thumbs up, your support, your watching my videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate that people are doing that because that's what I want to do in my life. I don't want to do anything else. I want to be an artist, a creator, a person that has a craft, somebody that's doing something. And I know I haven't been doing, people are right. They say, well, what have you really been doing? I haven't really been doing too much on this channel, but I still do some things. You know what I mean? I still do take a lot of my time to do this. Sometimes I'll do 4 videos, 5, 6 videos, and I only upload one of them because I still got this perfection thing going on. Like, I have to sound like, if the video isn't up to my par, if it's not how I want it to be, then I'm not going to upload it, and it's ridiculous. Even perfectionism is ridiculous because nobody's a perfectionist. They call themselves that. I call myself a perfectionist because I know how I want it. I know how I want things, and I always did know how I want things. I was just scared to get it. I was scared to do it. I was letting the thoughts of others, the approval of others, the approval of the world hold me down and say, oh, well, I don't want to do this because they'll look at me a certain way and they won't like me anymore. I might lose my crowd. I might lose subscribers if I say something. See, I'm not on that dimension and realm. I'm somewhere completely different with the way that I think about things. Completely different. I have transitioned from one way of thinking into another way of thinking, and I will never look back. There is a quote that I will put down in the comment section that some guy wrote that I just seen. And instead of using the word idea, I would put knowledge or understanding in there. And you'll see it in the comments, but this is so true. It's once you learn something different, you can never think the same way. You can't be the same person unless you want to stay gullibly ignorant. And most people, they want to stay gullibly ignorant. They don't want to change anything in this life while they're here. They don't want to do anything while they're here. And that's just the way that it is. I really don't blame a lot of people, because some people don't even know what they want to do here. They don't even, it's like, and what can you say? You know, somebody that doesn't want to help themselves, what can you say? Somebody that disagrees or criticizes you or whatever, what can you say? That's their criticism. That's their opinion. It's not mine. So anybody's opinion of me, it doesn't matter. I don't care about anybody's opinion of me anymore. I do not give two shits about somebody's opinion. I want to hear, what do you think about your life, your situation? What do you think about what's going on with your reality, your realm of thinking and reality? I don't want to know what you think about mine, and I don't want to think of what I think is yours. You see, mi casa su casa here. And this is just how it is. When you get to this point where you realize you have nothing to lose, a lot of people are going to walk away from you. They're going to think you're crazy and you lost it and you gave up and all this shit. No, I just came to reality. I got out of denial. I actually looked at myself. I actually confronted myself. I actually got honest with people on YouTube, and I got honest with my subscribers, and I got honest with folks. I put it out there, and I didn't hold back. I didn't lie to myself. I didn't cheat you, and I didn't cheat myself. And I am not ashamed. Romans 1:16, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am not ashamed of the sacrifice that I have put in. I am not ashamed to say that. I'm not saying I'm God. I am not saying I'm Jesus Christ. I do not have a God complex. I'm just saying I am not ashamed of who I am anymore. I am not ashamed of who I am. And I can say that with 100%, in my mind. But yet, a lot of us will think that this is somehow cocky or arrogant or boastful. And it's not. It's just the way that the world thinks, the way that a lot of people still think, that are lying to themselves. They'll keep telling themselves this every day because that's the way they cope. That's the way that they distract themselves. But this is a lie. This is not being honest with ourselves. This is lying to ourselves. And I can't help if people do that. I just can't do it. But I know for me, this is the only place I can go to get this off my chest. This is the only place I can go to vent this chaos, this thing going on, this life going on. This is the only place I can go. Like, where else am I supposed to go? What else am I supposed to do but put the phone on a Ulanzi thing here and record myself and upload it and let other people hear about it? Some people will think it's worthless. Some people will think it's worth something. Some people will say you're wasting my time. And some people will say I appreciate your time. Thank you to those who appreciate my time. And I understand those who say, you're wasting my time. I understand. And I still appreciate your criticism too. Because I know it's all just a mixed bowl of contradiction. There's hypocrisies, there's all kinds of stuff thrown together, and most people will never lose their mind. What a shame. What lives they must lead. Something Charles Bukowski said. I would say lose it all. Fall. Realize that your expectations for winning, you're only lying to yourself. Get used to your situation. Get used to the fact that things are going to happen. Get used to the fact that people will die close to you. Get used to the fact you will get wrinkly and old. Get used to the fact that sooner or later your health is going to, get a certain way. And I know this is I know this is a hard pill to swallow. I know that this is a very challenging thing for us, but we must do it if we want to understand ourselves. If we want to get to a point where we can actually be real with one another, this is something that we're going to have to do in our lives. Hey, what's up, y'all? All right. If we don't get honest here and we don't start telling it how it really is, then what are we doing? We're bullshitting ourselves every day. We're lying to ourselves. We're telling ourselves all these fairy tales to make it look like some way that it isn't. And the more we do this, the more that we lie to ourselves and other people, then that means that we're liars. We're not being real with ourselves and other people. And how can you and I live that way? How can I live that way? I can't live that way. I can't hold back. I can't hide anymore. I can't put up this mask in front for people anymore. And I made up my mind to lose it. I made up my mind to let go. I made up my mind to move on. I made up my mind to say, I have nothing to lose here anymore. Absolutely nothing to lose. I have nothing to gain, nothing to lose, but for a time I have something to gain in my life. While I can do that, but I don't know. Like I said, I can't lie to myself and I can't lie to other people. You know, it's gonna be taken how it's taken. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All we can do is talk about something, be about something, acknowledge it, and keep it in the back of your mind and move on. That's all you can do. That's all you can do here. So why lie to ourselves along this path, this journey that we're taking? Why bullshit ourselves? Why put on the mask in front and facade every day? Why keep wearing this for each other? Why keep doing it? Why keep running from ourselves? Because that's what we're really doing, whether we want to admit it or not. And this denial that we're in, this cold, ice cold denial that a lot of us are in, it's appalling to me, because I have come to terms with, I am not going to lie. I'm not going to be something I'm not. I'm not going to put on anymore. If I don't want to smile, I'm not going to smile. If I don't want to laugh with other people, I'm not going to laugh. You know, I'm not going to force myself to do anything. And, you know, when you get real with yourself like this, even though you might have bad nightmares and night terrors and bad dreams like I do, at least I can sleep. I can sleep well. You see, I can sleep because I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm not lying to myself. So therefore, I can sleep at night. I can be open with me. I can be open with myself. But can you out there be open with yourself? Can you out there tell another person, hey, look, man, you know, I've been doing this for a while here. Hey, man, do you think you can, you know, let me know about what goes on with you? You know, what can you reflect back on yourself? You see? And this is why I'm kind of a loner and I'm always by myself, because right when I talk about this or I confront people or I actually get really honest, it's kind of like this thing where people will go, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I understand. Well, you got to do what you got to do. And then it's like, okay, hi, bye. It's not like it sticks. It doesn't stick with people. They go right back to all of this stuff that they go back to. And I understand why they do. But see, me, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to go back to something that is old. I'm not going to go back to something that was old unless that thing helped me before. Then I will go back to it. But I don't know. I'm just being real here. I'm being honest with you. You know, it's once you see the ones that you care for, that were your family, and things in your life start changing and people are dying, it's almost like you say, damn, you just have a wake-up call after wake-up call after wake-up call, and it shakes you to the bone. It shakes you to the gristle of what it means to be a genuine individual, of what it means to just be an individual. I don't even need to put a word in front of that. It's just you're willing to be the vessel that you are. You're willing to talk about things you need to talk about. You're not going to hold it in. You're not going to say something else that was not what you intended to say, but you said it because you think the other person would think it a certain way. It's crazy how a lot of us are lying to ourselves today. It's really, really crazy. And I can't do it. I refuse to do it. I will literally die for this if I have to. I will literally go to my grave saying, don't try, but I ain't going to write what Charles Bukowski wrote. He wrote, don't try. That means simply be the you. Don't try to be you or put on for other people. Be you. That's what I mean when I say be yourself, when I say that. If if I die, say, I was honest. I was honest on my grave. And then the person that is tired of lying to themselves and is tired of bullshit and is tired of all this fake, phony shit that we do, when they see that, they'll go, damn, who is this person? Who is this guy? Who was that man? See, that's what I will be remembered for. It ain't that I want to be remembered for this. I will be remembered for this. I will be remembered for doing something that a lot of the world didn't do, because that's the way I think for myself. See, I'm on a completely different way of thinking, a completely different way. And yet again, it doesn't make me better. It doesn't make that I'm being cocky. It doesn't mean that I have a God complex or I think I'm better than you or I'm more ahead. All that's bullshit. That's all bullshit. All of that is bullcrap. And it's not real. It's just people think that that's how I might be being, but that's not how I'm being. That's not how I am. Because this is the vessel of me, the vessel of this thing here that you call Nathan, that you call Nate, that you call SBN Natan. And the reason I put God in there, and I don't know if I'm going to keep that in there, but the reason I say somebody, I am somebody, and I have a life, and I'm living, and I'm doing things, and I want the best for myself while I'm here until I can't go on anymore. I am somebody, but one day I will be nobody. I'm nobody. I'm nothing that special, even though I think differently. And Natan is God has given. The universe has given the universe. That's what it means. God has given God. The universe has given the universe. Everything has given everything, but yet I couldn't find of a way to put I couldn't find of a way to make it neutral. I couldn't find of a way to put a contradiction in there, to put the irony in there. I wanted to say, but yet God and the universe, whatever words you want to put there, takes away. The universe gives and the universe takes away, and this is my motto. This is what SBN represents. This is my statement for life. It's the way I live. My words are my words. My hypocrisies are my hypocrisies that I look at. I examine myself every single day. But when I see people not doing that for themselves, then I say, well, what association do I have with this person? How can I associate, or why would I even want to be around or talk with or do anything with anybody like that? What is the point of it? What is it doing for me? What is it doing for this vessel while I'm here? And I can go on and on with this because I have a very well-spoken way of talking. I was very fortunate to get that. And I'm very thankful for that. But I'm not boasting because I have that. So anyway, yet again, take care of yourselves. I appreciate all the support. Any support I get, I always appreciate. You don't realize how much that helps me to keep going as a person. And when I say down below, hey, listen, for me taking 40 minutes here, if you want to buy me $1 coffee for the gesture, for saying, hey, Nate, I'm listening to you, brother. Okay, I got you. You know, if you want to give back any of your time, that's all that I ask, you know, and I see that I've kind of I might have lost a lot of people with that by asking for something, by saying, you know, ain't I worth something to anybody? Am I wasting your time that much? I mean, it's crazy when you can't be real with yourself, when you can't be real with the people that are the people. The people, for heaven's sakes. If I can't be real with the people, how the frick am I supposed to be real on my platform? How am I supposed to get real with anybody if I can't get real with you? Then I have to bullshit you and play this game and fake you and play fakery and play makeup and play Barbie doll and all this stuff, which I'm not going to do. And the ones that are real, the ones that examine themselves, the ones that are realizing and understanding and have knowledge and have a sense of humaneness and other things in them, they'll understand what I mean. You know, I don't like explaining myself, but sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to do it sometimes. And that's what I mean by I'm willing to make a change. I'm willing to actually, when I need help, ask for help. If you were hungry and you needed 3 slices of bread, you would ask, hey man, can you help me out with 3 slices of bread here? You know, if you were cold and you wanted a hot cup of coffee, hey man, you got 99 cents, you got 4 quarters. And I'm not begging. I'm not begging people. That's not what I'm doing, y'all. I'm not begging people for anything. I'm not a fiend like that to be begging for stuff. It's just the gesture. It's just the show that you got something, that you're listening, that you're out there, that I'm talking to a real person. I mean, is that asking too much? If that's asking too much, then I really don't know what I'm even doing. And like I said before, it's whatever. I'm not going to do that no more. I'm done. I learned a lesson. I definitely learned a lesson for myself, and it was just that time, you know. That's what the deck of cards dealt me, and I'm just willing to lose it all, you know. It's whatever with me, but I still don't think that I don't care when it's necessary to care. Don't think that it's just like an FU or any of this stuff that may go through our heads and our minds. That's just thoughts messing with you. That's just things that you might think that's going on in here and whatever. And do we realize that is all I'm saying. Do we understanding the knowledge itself of things for ourselves? That's all I'm getting to on these videos. And this is my outlet, you know. This is my, this is the place I go to do this because there's nowhere else for me to go. And if I can't come here and do that, if I can't come here and express myself without being criticized and having people, you know, give me an opinion of me and all that, if I can't come here and do that, if I can't think that this is a safe haven for me to express words and to tell people stuff, then what is it? You know, what is it in the end? And I'm still going to do it regardless. You see, I realize kind of the internet is kind of like a figment of your imagination. You know, it's like the things that people are really doing in their life and the things they do and whatever goes on, that's not really real life. The internet is mostly fake. Social media is mostly a fake way of living. It's showing people all the good things, but hiding the real, humane, the real elements, the elements that most people keep hidden. And they hide and they run and they're in denial, and I just can't do that anymore. I have nothing to... Listen, I don't wish anything upon anyone but for them to understand themselves, to reflect this back onto themselves. It doesn't even have anything to do with me anymore. I am just a perception, a thought in your mind that you're seeing on a screen and you're hearing me speak. That's all I am. Don't even think of me as Nate or all these things. Even if you do, it's cool because that's how people are still going to think of a lot of things. But it just, when you really get like deep like this with yourself and you get this deep, who are you going to reach out to? Who is there going to be to reach out to? And see, me, what has happened is I have reached out on a phone. I have reached out with recording. I have reached out with a YouTube channel. I have reached out with Instagram. I have reached out with art-related stuff. I have reached out by being absolutely honest with myself. That's how I've reached out. And I just ask you, how many people actually do this on the internet? And if you would start thinking like that for yourself, just imagine. I don't have a problem with imagination. I have a problem with telling yourself lies and telling yourself these fantasies that you're lying to yourself. That's what I have a problem with myself. If you do that, that's your life. That's your business. It has nothing to do with me. But I know for me, that's not what I choose to do. And if we would all start thinking like this, if we would all start just getting to the root of things and actually observing and confronting those things and change our perception of things, just imagine how many different ways that the elements of this realm could go if we would do that. But is anybody out there thinking of it? Is anybody thinking it? For the universe, for God's, for heavens and hells and everything up and down and what is anybody else thinking of it? Or am I the only guy that does this? Am I the only one that does these things? Maybe I am. But you know what? Like I said, I'm willing to go to my grave with it. I'm willing to put SBN on my tombstone and say, I have been honest. I'm out.